Looks like I ran short on time. I misjudged and I needed a few extra minutes in order to complete what I was doing, because I was planning on stopping at the next bonfire. So for now, we will just press on. Gotta be very careful on how I swing that blade so I don't wake two of them. Because I wanted to be able to start with a backstab. Perfect. So here we can wait for those knights to go ahead. The Dark Wraiths. One of them is already going over there and crushing the enemy. So I'm gonna come here. And we very much are headed back to the bonfire at Firelink Shrine before we press on. Because I have a feeling that our encounter with the Abyss Watchers is not going to go as intended. So let's see, do I have any? I have one consumable. Probably not enough to double up on. We will pick up an extra point of strength. So our weapon damage is in the 130s. That is definitely going to be extremely low.
Farewell, Ashen One.
So this is definitely the downside to how I've started with the character's HP and his stamina that way.
Ah, just wasn't it? Pretty be careful.
If this were my... Previously I did a dagger run, and the dagger at 130 was okay, because at least then you could hit the bleed. So I'm curious if I can rely on a similar mechanic here. But I don't think I have anything that has bleed. I do have the Uchigatana, but I lack the dexterity to wield the weapon. So this will be very interesting, to say the least. So let me double check. I don't mind the Uchigatana approach, but that would require 4 level ups. all the strength-based weapons are several more than that for what I've picked up thus far. I honestly feel like my biggest problem, I feel like this I could augment, pick up some damage that way, and that's not sufficient to warrant. So this is definitely where that run starts to rear its ugly head. I do have a pale tongue if I decide that I want to respec. I would only do so with the understanding of this particular character needs a bit more of a different guided approach to leveling. If I truly felt that his levels needed to go a different path. I'd be fine with that. Not all builds are obviously going to be the same, but I don't want to just do that for the sake of doing it if we don't know. So let's do that, because then if I discover that it is working, that would give me one heal mid-run. But we don't have to start that way. If we discover real quick this just isn't working. Getting greedy. You don't have to have the backstab. You go, dude. Oh. Oof. Yeah, I'm using far too many Estus Flasks. The concept itself can be done. And at least now I can also give a threshold, which is apparently with this build, if I'm in the 150 range, it looks like my weapon damage is sufficient. Ugh. I'm gonna pop it. Goodness. That is not a friendly spot. Ugh. That was my bad. Oh. That's the end of my healing. Nope, that's the end of my life. I was starting to think I had found a rhythm with how I could consistently get that backstab. That's the first I've ever seen that. So I'm definitely going to have to explore that more. And it also looks like this part, I mean theoretically any part is possible. I mean people have beaten the game at level 1. But it looks like for this type of character with my current skill level, it is possible to do this. I just need to manage my healing and dodges a little bit better. Like that, we can't be having that. Should be getting a second one here in a second. There he is. Yep, and that hurts. Yeah, that animation right there seems to give me an opening. Okay. Let's get off this wall. I don't like being on this wall. Yow. Ugh. Fine, you can have him. Goodness. I was hoping for that distracted backstab. But he was not fooled, to say the least. Goodness. Well, at least in this case I did not pop the ember before, so that is one small solace to take. Come on, number 3. There we go. Oh. Nope, didn't realize it was done. Third one rises. Got a little bit of distance. Definitely very jump happy. Okay, third one's out. Oh. Oh. His attack went through. Okay, one more hit. Go ahead and heal up. Ah, I missed my dodge. Goodness. Need to get some distance. Reset. The game didn't think that was a backstab. Ooh. Okay. A bit more health. Well, the game thought that was a backstab. Hooray! Perseverance in the face of adversity. So we don't need that anymore. So we will do a final level up before we call this episode closed. And it's definitely been a fun episode, having to play around with the Abyss Watchers, knowing full well that you might have seriously messed up. Made your character too weak at the beginning.
Welcome home, speak them. Very well, then to take notes.
To me, that's one of my favorite parts about Dark Souls. Okay, so we do have 4 level ups worth. We had talked about using the Uchigatana, but there's no real strong one way or the other on that one. But that would definitely put us at more of Dex stats. So, I will do the Uchigatana path.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the
Just because I think this is a hedged. I think we only drop a few points. But because we'll be gaining the bleed, we actually gain a little bit more on our character than those 5 points actually translate to. So, that also has made our character right on the edge of being too heavy. So, that might need some tuning here in a minute. So for now, I think we're fine. I mean, we could switch to the Fallen Knight, which is gonna get us mostly reduced. You know, almost 8 points worth. Or 7 points worth. But could drop the helm and get it even further. And I'd be fine with that. Now, I've never used a katana, so this will also be an interesting learning experience. But either way, this episode we managed to complete Farron Swamp, and we have killed the Abyss Watchers. We have defeated our first Lord of Cinder without purchasing any items from the game. Be they consumables or weapon upgrades or boss weapons. So, thus far, all has gone well. Definitely a little bit of challenge at the Abyss Watchers. And I imagine by having switched out now our armament to the Uchigatana, I imagine it is going to play out like a hybrid between a standard knight class run and a thief class run, in that we will have a sword length, sword stamina using, but bleed applying build. So this should be interesting. It'll be a hybrid of the two classes. Either way, we'll go ahead and call the episode here. It's been very fun, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your times. Thank y'all, and until the next episode.